Okay, good afternoon. Well, I was privileged to witness the incredible rise of Beth, who is an ordinary mom, and I'm really privileged to watch her stratospheric journey into greatness. To the peddlers of transgender ideology, to the men who speak wearing womanhood as a costume, to the people in power who delight in drowning in diversity and inclusion, who believe they escape offering citizens real change, that put food in the bellies of security in the futures for their children, to the women who call themselves liberal feminists, who see themselves as kind, to the XX misogynists. These are some of the things that are not yours to give away. Woman, women, mother, mum, girls, daughter. These are not your words to give away. These mean something to each and every one of us. Those of us privileged enough to have daughters, we watch their struggles through teenage years. It's not a mistake. It happens globally. It is a developmental necessity, unfortunately for girls, that means when they reach puberty, they pull away from their parents, they become insanely embarrassed, and they also want to please their peers. Can you imagine teenage girls right now? You're embarrassed by your body. You're already embarrassed by your body, but you want to fit in with your friends, and what your friends are telling you is that that boy is welcome in your space and that man really is a woman. How the hell do you escape? How the hell do you escape that? Well, maybe you could be a nice example of somebody training to be a porn star, because that seems to be the offering that we give young girls in 2022. I was commenting when I was outside the White House, and there were 3 girls having their picture taken. They were young women. They were probably about 16 or 17. And they were so well groomed. Every single inch of hair on their head was, and I realise I talk as somewhat a hypocrite, but I'm 47. I've earned the right to be vain. And if I don't tidy each and every single hair and dollop loads of makeup, I'm not coming out. But for young women, it's not a choice. Whereas, like, when I was growing up, we had different sorts of music. You had grunge, you could identify in music, something that you liked that pulled you together with a range of different people. That is not something that girls can do. So, to those people, the peddlers of transgender ideology, those words are not yours to give away. They are also not your words to dilute. There is no other thing on earth besides an adult human female that is a woman. We are not cervix havers, we are not menstruators, we are not birthing people, we are not chest feeders. We are women, and by God, I love being a woman. I love the fact that when Beth talks, I feel like I could weep at the same time as feeling extraordinarily proud to know her. Right. And I think that's because I am a woman and my compassion overflows, which is why sometimes some of these women are too willing to give our rights away. It must be maintained that when we are compassionate, that we are compassionate first and foremost for women, because nobody else is. Nobody else. There is not a man on this planet that genuinely understands the fear of being alone and hearing a man's voice. There is not a single man that understands that, and they may speak for us, and in the UK, many women defer to these men, but they have no idea really what's at stake. Now, to those peddlers of transgender ideology, these spaces are not yours to give away. Our toilets, our private spaces, the places we undress, our hospitals, our single-sex wards, they are not ours to give away. We didn't fight for them, but we will have to fight to keep them. When it comes to sports, I don't know that I could possibly add anything that would make any difference to anybody. But to the peddlers of transgender ideology, they are not your sports to give away. When it comes to our children in schools, being indoctrinated into this absolutely obscene, nonsensical, quasi-religious, dogmatic pile of rubbish. We are basically stealing their minds. We are stealing their minds. We are not allowing them anymore. There will be a time in which small children will not understand that a woman is an adult human female, that their fear of a man in their space is genuinely a true fear. Please fear them in your space, children, because no man who isn't a predator imposes himself into a woman's space.
Amen.
Keep track of time. So, to the peddlers of transgender ideology, when it comes to our children, when it comes to how they can think straight, these are not your minds to give away. These are not your rights to give away. The right for women to self-organise, the right for us to be able to speak, the right for us to be able to expect that somebody in power will speak for us and mean us.
No, we have to speak for ourselves.
Well, we can speak for ourselves, but I ain't the President of the United States, and he seems to be able to sign an executive order that will take your rights away. So until I do become, I understand it's impossible, but until maybe one of the women on this panel becomes the President of the United States, then they do have your rights. They can give them away, and yet they have never earned them.
That's right.
When it comes to children, and I'm going to really plough through this, so because I always cry. When it comes to parents who have witnessed their children getting sucked into this cult, and their teachers and the doctors and the counsellors pull those children in, for what reason, I have no idea. I don't know what they get from it, but I don't believe it's anything but evil.
Yes.
When I watch the parents' grief, and it's palpable, I literally just feel my heart ache when they have to witness their children disappearing. They have to live through the grief of watching a child that they know, that they love, that they adore, become someone that they no longer really recognise. And the doctors just allow it, take it, celebrate it, go on TikTok, sell it. They are not their bodies to give away.
No.
They are our bodies to defend, and Jesus, I will do it until I cannot draw breath. Hold the line. In this room, there are many of us, and there are so many more that have no idea what's going on, that are willing just to give away the futures of each and every one of us to the sort of morons that are outside protesting today, who don't understand the link between mammals and humans. They don't seem to understand that we are mammals, like we are instinctively mammals. We love our children, we care for each other, we look after each other because evolutionary, it serves our purpose, right? If we are together in a unit, then we are much safer and we are much more likely to survive. And I'd like to say finally to the peddlers of transgender ideology, to the men who speak wearing womanhood as a costume, to the people in power who delight in drowning in diversity and inclusion, who believe they escape offering citizens real change, that put food in their bellies and security for their children, to the women who call themselves liberal feminists, who see themselves as kind, to the XX misogynists, these are some of the things that are not yours to give away, and ultimately, these are not your futures to give away. Thank you.